So I hope all of you remember how the control limits were calculated. Control limits were calculated, upper control limit was calculated by process average plus 3 sigma. 3 sigma referred to the variations in the values of the product. Lower control limit was calculated by upper limit minus, process average minus 3 sigma. So you can understand that process average plus minus 3 sigma is the range within which if the sample value falls, then we can safely say that the business process is within the statistical quality control. Any outlier means any value which is beyond LCL or UCL is an indication of the fact that the business process is beyond the statistical quality control and it needs to be brought within the statistical quality control. Now, there are different variable control measures, but the variable control measures which is included in your syllabus is basically your X bar and R chart. So I hope all of you know what an X bar is. X bar is basically arithmetic mean, and I don't think that I need to introduce what an arithmetic mean is. Arithmetic mean for a given values is the sum of the value divided by total number of values. I also hope that all of you remembers what a range is. Range is basically a measure of dispersion. And if the values are given, then range is calculated by highest observation minus lowest observation. So this is what we understand by X bar and R chart. So here you see, if you look at the notes, that for X bar and for R chart, there are upper control limit and the lower control limit which has been derived. If you look at X bar chart, the upper control limit is derived as X double bar plus A2 R bar. So let me tell you what X double bar is. Say for example, we have decided to collect a lot of 10 products at 12 p.m. which is being manufactured by the production team. Again, we have decided to collect 10 products and measure the values of the 10 products at 12:30 p.m. Similarly, we have decided to collect 10 products at 1 p.m. and at 1:30 p.m. So we will here say that our sample size is 4 because we have collected, products at 4 different points of time. So basically 10 products or values of 10 products which are collected at 12 p.m. will have their average. The values will give an average. At 12:30 p.m. the products which have been collected, similarly the values will give an average. So we will have 4 different averages. Now these 4 values, if we take the average, it is referred to as X double bar. And you can also understand that at 4 different points of time, the values that are there, for each point of time you will have a range, and R bar basically refers to the average of the range. Now what is A2? A2 basically is a value that is derived from a table. A table is there, a standard table, where there are values of A2 which varies from 2 to 15. 2 to 15 basically is the sample size. That means it is said that the feasible sample size would be maximum 15. Any sample size which is beyond 15, it would be inconvenient for the business process to measure it. 15 basically refers to, as in my example what I have said, 15 basically refers to collection of the products or the values of the products at 15 different points of time. Now similarly, you will see here that there is a computation of upper control limit and the lower control limit of, in case of R chart also. So here D3 and D4 similarly are derived from tables which are again numbered from which again vary from the sample size 2 to sample size 50. Now if you look at the example, you will see here that there has been 5 points of time, you can say 5 points of time, and for each point of time there is 15 values of the products which have been collected. So this can be converted into this particular table, where you will see that for each subgroup there is an average and for each subgroup there is a range. What does average for a particular subgroup means? You will see that for the subgroup 1, there are 5 different values. So basically the average that we derive for the subgroup 1 is the 5 different values that we had for subgroup 1 divided by 5. So similarly, there are 15 subgroups in the example, and for each subgroup you will have different averages. Similarly, for each subgroup you will also have range. So now you can understand what X double bar is. X double bar is basically the averages that we have derived for each subgroup. If we again take the average of these 15 values, which is derived by adding the 15 values divided by 15, then we get X double bar. R bar is the range that we have derived here. These 15 values are added and divided by 50. So please check whether the values are correct. I had to do it very hastily today because I needed to take the class of yours. So please see that the values that are given in the notes are correct or not. If it is not correct, then you can rectify. It is just an example to make you understand. So now when you have the values of X double bar and R bar, what you then do is, then you basically compute the upper control limit, the lower control limit for the X bar chart, and the upper control limit and the lower control limit for the R chart. Now here you basically see that the value of UCL in case of upper control limit is being derived as 12.486. The value of LCL is derived as 12.348. So you can understand that 12.348 is a value that will be plotted in the graph, and a straight line will be drawn corresponding to it, which is the LCL. Similarly, the UCL can also be drawn. And here you see an X bar chart. Now what are these values? These values basically corresponds to the 15 different values of X bar, or the 15 different values of the average of the subgroups. So you see here that when we plot the 15 different values, all the 15 different values are lying within the lower control limit and the upper control limit, which is an indication of the fact that the business process is within statistical quality control, and there is no presence of assignable causes of variation. Similarly, we will compute the values of upper control limit and the lower control limit for an R chart. You will see here that the values which please do not be confused, because if you look at the values, then suddenly you will see that the value has come out to be 0.252. So we have the value of R bar, but where from D3 and the D4 has come? D3 and D4 has come from a table, as I have mentioned. Now again you will see that the lower control limit in case of an R chart is 0, the upper control limit is 0.252. So if this is plotted in a graph, this is the R chart that we will get. The lower control limit, as I told you, the value of LCL is 0, so it is the origin point. It is the process average, and it is the upper control limit. I have not plotted all the 15 points. What are being plotted? The 15 values of range that we have derived, that we have shown in the last table. These are being plotted in case of an R chart. Here also we will see that these are within the LCL and the UCL, which is an indication of the fact that both X bar as well as R chart is within the statistical quality control, and there are no presence of assignable causes of variation. So this is how we come to an end to our 5th unit of production and operation management. I hope that all of you can cope up with the discussions that I have had. Please, you have to put some attention in listening to my discussion. Pay some attention, put some focus, and as I told you, that prepare the notes related to the 5th unit of production and operation management by Tuesday, because on Tuesday we can then gladly start our 4th unit discussion related to the 4th unit and the 5th unit of research methodology. So till then, have a good time and goodbye.